Hey y'all, welcome back or welcome to my channel. I'm very excited to get into the books that I have read this month, so I'm not gonna waste any time, okay? Because this has been a really good reading month. I know in February I was like, oh, like I thought it was a good reading month, but it really wasn't. This month, I said it was going to be a good reading month, and I was right. I think I'm going to finish the month off with 8 books completed. I probably will start book 9 today, but we still got a week left in March. I'm just a little early with the video because I was like, I'm not going to have time to record this next week. Okay. But let's get into it. I'm very excited to share with you guys what I have read. So, to start off, I'll go over the one that I told you that I was in the middle of last time we spoke. So, in February, I started this book, but I did not finish it. I gave it 5 stars. Another really good YA romance by Ebony Liddell called This Could Be Forever. I really, really loved it. Once again, I'll show you the cover. How pretty and cute is that? But it was such an enjoyable story. I really, really loved it. I loved her first book, Love Radio, so I'm not surprised that I got another 5 stars out of her. So I'm very excited to see what else she has coming out soon. But if you're looking for a non-cringe YA romance, this is your girl. This is your book right here. So good, easy 5 stars. Okay, so the next book I read was Sweet Heat by Bolu Babalola. This book was so good. Now, I never caught on to Honey and Spice by her. I started it, and for whatever reason, I just could not get into it. And I was so irritated because everybody was saying how good it was. And for some reason, I don't know. I cannot even pinpoint what the reason was. I just could not get into it. And so I just put it down. I never picked it back up. But then when I saw she had Sweet Heat coming out, I was like, you know what? Let me just give it a try. I want to try again. And I know that this, what they were telling me, what they were telling me, I was reading that this was like a continuation of the first story where some time had passed. They were out of college, the main couple that we're focusing on. And I was like, okay, like this, maybe I'll be more into this timeline of things. And so I got the audiobook for it, and I was like, okay, let's do it. And in the beginning, I was just nervous, just maybe based off of my past experience with Honey and Spice, where I started listening to the audiobook and then I was out of there. So I was like, oh, I'm nervous. But like after, obviously after the first couple, maybe like 10 to 15% to lay the story down and like let me get a sense of what's going on. Once I was in there, I was in and I was locked in and I did not ever turn the book off after that. Like I was in it. And so I'm really happy that I was really able to sink my teeth into the book, and I look forward to hopefully going back and reading Honey and Spice and giving it another try. Because I'm like, if this book is this good, there's no way that Honey and Spice is not just as good. So I am gonna go back and give Honey and Spice another chance. But for Sweet Heat, oh, I cannot wait. And I need a physical copy so that way I can go through and highlight my favorite parts. And like some of the wordplay she used was so good when they were flirting, when they were exploring their own individual issues and working through their problem in that way. Like the wording and the spice, like even in the spice, like I love the way that she writes. I love like the metaphors that she uses. It's not like doing too much or cringy. It just makes sense. And I was just like taken aback by her writing. And I was like, I've just been sleeping. I've been sleeping on her. Oh, I'm mad at myself because when I tell you I enjoyed that book, I was laughing because it was funny. I there was a moment I felt the tears coming on the parts that they were really diving deep into a lot of different things, including grief and just like making mistakes and trying to like trying to learn from them and make better decisions, but also not sure the decision that you're making is right. And second chance romance is one of my favorite tropes ever. I think this is not a spoiler, but like just saying like if you didn't read the first book like me, you don't know anything. But this is a second chance romance, and that's my favorite genre of romance, I think. So that was exciting for me too. And just seeing how she was able to bring them back together in a way that it wasn't just like, oh, we broke up way back when. Oh, you're here and you're still cute. Oh, we like each other still. We should be together. And it wasn't just that. She went deep. Like they had time to really work through what caused them to break up in the first place, what has transpired throughout this time that makes them even think that this would be a good decision to pursue a relationship again. And it felt like there was just so much intention from them both individually and the conversation that they had together that started them working towards being back together fully. And I just loved that aspect of it as someone who just loves second chance romance. And then on top of that, okay, on top of that, the way that she explored the friendship between the female main character and her best friend. Oh, yes. And in a higher pressure situation, which I won't give more details into that. But that the way that she used that to really explain their relationship and how beautiful it is and some of its pitfalls and how they worked through that, I said, give it up. Easy 5 stars. Dare I say six? Like that good. So good. Like I loved it. I loved it down. So, if you were looking for a new romance to read, if you've not heard of this book before for some reason, stop what you're doing and you go and you pick up that book called Sweet Heat. Okay? You do it. And you can do the audiobook. I think I would also enjoy to read it just without the audiobook and read it myself. So maybe down the road, once I've forgotten about it a little bit, I'll reread with the physical book only, because I will be buying that as soon as I possibly can. Like I'm so excited. Maybe I'll buy it today. But anywho, that book was super super amazing. Definitely a highlight of my month. I had a lot of like 5-star reads this month, which is so exciting. Okay, so outside of that, the next book that I read, and I told you guys about this in our last recap video too, because it's one that I started but didn't finish. That is Everything I Know About Love by Dolly Alderton. I ended up buying the physical copy yesterday, right after I finished it. Another 5-star. I love a memoir. I told you that before. I love a memoir. So this means something so much to me. And I went through and I've highlighted everything on there that I loved. There were so many pages that were just so that gave so many words to thoughts that I have, which I love. And I love when authors can do that for me. So I appreciate their hard work. But this book was so, so amazing. I feel like I knew a lot of the things that she was saying already, but I like the way that she took those thoughts and really went deep into them and explained a lot of things that maybe we don't go as deep in our own thought processes about certain things that we're facing in our 20s, certain things that we're facing in all these areas in love and friendships, in family, in career, and all that. I think she just took it a step further on a lot of different things and allowed you to really think about how you're processing certain things that are happening to you in these areas, and the notions that you came up with about these areas in your life that's are sometimes not true and are sometimes not good. And so I just really enjoyed seeing what was going on in her brain, and it gave insight to the things that I already think. So I really, really enjoyed it. If you're looking for another memoir to read, I really like this one. And the book is just so cute. Look at that. So they had one copy at Half Price Books yesterday, and I grabbed it, snagged it. It's a little bit loved. It's got some bins in it, but I don't know. I like that, especially with something like a memoir. I love a little character to a book. So I think if someone spilled a little water on the back of it, that's okay. It's fine. So I really really enjoyed this, and I look forward to reading this again in like 10 years, like and seeing how I feel about it, because it's giving lessons on things that you're experiencing in your 20s. She also has a lessons at the end about turning 30 and what that feels like. I haven't crossed that line yet. So I look forward to reading this in 5 to 10 years and seeing what I feel about it and what I agree with and what things I don't agree with, and how I have changed from my previous beliefs about the things that she spoke about in this book. But yes, another 5 stars. All right, so the next book I read was Judge Stone by Viola Davis and James Patterson. I have been anticipating this release for some months now. I'm a huge Viola Davis fan. I read her memoir, I think was that last year, called Finding You. Loved it. 6 stars, 10 stars. My favorite memoir ever, I think, so far. So I was very excited to see that she was releasing another book and that it was fiction this time. So just to give you a little bit, I'm not going to tell you what it's about. I think it's best to go in blind. Y'all know how I am. But it's based around Mary Stone. She's a judge in a very small city in Alabama. It's a real country city. There's lots of racism and other things that are occurring, and it brings it all to the forefront when something really scary happens to a young girl in this town. And Judge Stone is kind of presiding over the trial that is dealing with this issue. Definitely check the trigger warnings before you start, so that way you can come in prepared. But I think it was a really good book. I enjoyed it. I was on my toes, nervous, not sure what was going to happen the whole time, which is what you like to feel when you're reading a thriller. So I really did enjoy that. I was definitely on my toes, and just kind of seeing how things go from that side of things legally, like how the judge handles stuff, was really cool to see as well. And I towards the end, I feel like things really started to pick up for sure, and I was just like, well, what are we gonna do now? So I liked that I had no clue about how the story was gonna end. And at the end of the book, what I will say is, like, at the end of it, they're able to give a verdict of what's happening with this whole case that she's presiding over, right? And so I remember, like, the anticipation right before they said what the verdict was going to be. I was like, oh, I felt like I was in the book, which I always enjoy when I get that immersive feeling. So I definitely think it's worth your time. If you're a Viola fan like me, definitely pick it up. I will be buying the hard copy in a second. I don't know why I don't already have that. I don't know why I didn't order that. I did like a list of pre-orders earlier this year. I don't know how it skipped my cart, but that's okay. I will be righting that wrong shortly. But yeah, 4 stars, great book. I enjoyed it. Like I said, I just finished it 5 seconds ago. So and then outside of that, the last book that I am going to finish before the month is out is The House in the Cerulean Sea. I have been eyeing this book for the longest. I bought it, probably 5 or 6 months ago, I think. They had a really nice Barnes& and Noble copy edition like this. It's got the little sunset that goes all the way around the sprayed edges, and I'm a fan. All right, so I bought it. I once again had zero clue about what it was about. I knew nothing, except that it gave like maybe like adventure or fantasy based off what the cover looks like, but I actually don't know anything about anything. And so far I'm really enjoying it. I think I'm about 30% through. I don't want to tell you guys what it's about because I think it's fun to go in blind, but so the only thing that I knew about it when I picked it up off the shelf when I decided to read it this month was I read the top. I don't know if y'all can see that. I don't know if it's clear, so I'll read it. I'll read it off to you. It said, this is by V. Schwab. This is their take on the book. I loved it. It is like being wrapped up in a big gay blanket. Simply perfect. Now I said, now what does a big gay blanket mean? What do you mean by that? I said, okay, let's see. I don't know what that means. So I have not yet understood the entirety of what big gay blanket they want to wrap us in. But I will say that I'm getting a little taste. Okay, getting a little taste about what could occur, and I'll just leave it there. But it's very, very good. It's so cute. So far, it's very cute because this book is dealing with kids in some ways, and the way that these kids are being so expressive and the way that they're written is very sweet. And I'm liking that. I'll leave it up to you. Okay, if you haven't already read this book, it's been out for a minute. I'm just late. But if you have not read it, the little that I'll tell you is that there is this guy, and he's basically like a social worker for orphanages in this area. And I'm not going to give details about what kind of orphanages and all the things because I think it's fun to go in without knowing that information. But he is tasked with going to a specific orphanage to make sure everything is cool, make sure the kids are being treated well. And so far, what I'm learning is he's kind of figuring out what's going on. He's talking to the people who run the orphanage and speaking with the children to figure out if everything is safe and good for these kids. Now, I think there's a lot more to that story, but like I said, I'm only 30% through, so we'll see what else I find. But that's kind of to give you a little bit about what I've learned so far. I definitely think it's going to end up being very, very good. And so far, I'm really liking it. So I'm excited to see what's going to happen. I'm probably going to sit down and read some of this today, too, if I have some time. Okay, so a series that I started and completed in the month of March, which I don't typically do, is the Hoop series by Kennedy Ryan. I have been trying to get into that series so that I could be ready for when Close Up came out this month. And I have the book. I have not started yet. I'm going to probably start it sometime this week. But I wanted to read that entire series because some of the characters are going to be in here. So I started out with book 1, and that is Long Shot. I think I talked to you about this last time in my previous wrap up video. I did like it. I ended up giving it maybe 3.5 stars. So y'all can go check that one out to get more details on what I thought. And then book 2 was Block Shot. This is my favorite one of the series. I just think that the way that she wrote both of these characters, I feel like they just made sense. I think, who was this one? Banner and Jared. Banner and Jared, I think that Jared was a true asshole. Okay, love that. And I feel like that worked well for Banner's personality. Like, I don't think it would work for a lot of people. And I think that she harped on that a lot in the book too. Like, this would only work between Banner and Jared. Like, Jared is not going to be with just anybody. So I feel like they made sense together, and the spice was very right. Miss Ryan, okay. I said, oh, y'all are sweet. Okay, sure. So that was fun to read as well. But I really think that their love story was so sweet, and I liked how he Jared comes off in such a hard way. He comes up in such a hard way, but he had, when you're seeing his own thoughts about things, he has good intentions. Like, he's not trying to be that way, but every single time he's coming off in a way that he does not intend. And I like the way that Banner understood him and understood what he meant and is able to kind of help him out in that regard too. And also, I just think that their love story was just so cute. And he did not play about her. He did not play about her at all. He did not care about nothing. Now, I will say that I was definitely being messy in book two, because I'm usually not into the whole thing of where it's like the girl, or there's any kind of cheating and mess going on in that regard in my love story. I'm not really into that. Please, I'm not into it. But in this book, I was like, I think I made an update on Goodreads about it too when I was reading. I am supporting women's wrongs because, spoiler, she was cheating on her man, kinda. Not even kinda, she was. And her man wasn't even bad. If you're gonna cheat, at least let your man, like, let your current man be terrible so I can feel, which I'm like, he sucks, girl. Like, you still shouldn't do that, but at least he's terrible. Her current man was not terrible. So I think that that was different for me, supporting women's wrongs in this way. But I I I know that Jared did not play about her. He was like, "Oh, that's cool or whatever. Like, I see you got this man. That's cute. I'm your man now. You just wait. You just wait right here, and shortly you'll be mine." And he was right, and I had to respect that. So I think I like that aspect of it too, even though that's not normally what I love in a romance book. She sold it to me. I was in. So that was book two. I think I ended up giving that one 4 stars, and then book three, that was Hookshot. I think I gave that. Hold on, let me see. I gave Hookshot 4 stars as well. I would rate these, just to pause. I think it would be book two, book three, and book one is the order that I like them in. But they were all very good. But anyways, back to Hookshot. And this one was kind of like a continuation of like a little baby love story that was hinted at in book one between Iris's cousin Lotus and August. I think they're on the same team. One of his basketball friends, Keenan. And so we kind of knew that something was going to come up with them later on, but I'm excited that we got to get a full book on their story, which was great. So I really like the way that their story kind of developed, from Lotus not really feeling him to her now feeling him, and the way that they were kind of like feeling each other, but like not really. I enjoyed that. And then they took their relationship slow, but it made sense that Keenan had a lot of other factors with him having a child and like issues, baby mama stuff going on and all of that. So I think the pace of the relationship made sense, which was nice. And then also, I liked that how they were both able to compromise with one another to make the relationship work, with living on different sides of the country and having different stuff going on like that. And then also, I thought it was so cute. Just like side note, the little scene that they had when they were um, in like New York, walking around and it was hot as hell. I just enjoyed that as someone who, I love going to New York. It do be hot, especially during the summertime, and like I know what it feels like to be like, oh my god, brother, because you're walking everywhere. And I think I just related to that part, so I enjoyed that part of the book as well in the beginning when they were first kind of getting together. I'm giving y'all a little bit of tea on this book. I don't normally do that. That's because it's fresh in my mind. I just finished it like a week ago, so maybe that's why. But overall, I thought it was a really great love story. What I will say is at the end of the book, there was like another thing thrown in there. After I thought that everything was cool, she came in and threw another thing in there. And I was like, I don't think I needed that because it stressed me out. I didn't need that. So that was my only note for the book, but I did really like it. And so I gave it my 4 stars. All right, y'all. Well, that wraps up all the books that I have read in the month of March, a total of 8 books. I'm about to get started on book number 9 back there. But I need to finish book 8 first. I got to finish reading House in the Cerulean Sea and then book 9. Okay. But anywho, I probably won't finish it. You know what? I just might. I'm playing myself. I can read fast. We'll see what happens. Depends on when I finish House in the Cerulean Sea. And then I might get to close up and actually finish it before the month is out. But we'll see. Anywho, I hope you guys enjoyed this. If you have read any of these books, okay, put it down in the comments. Also, what was your favorite book that you read this month? I would love to hear about it and hopefully get some new recommendations of what I can read in April. So I hope you guys have a great week. I'm out of here. Love you. Bye.